Okay, this is going to be a quick video of a bag which I purchased recently from the Sportsmansguide, and this was a sight unseen. The only information that I had about it was the advertisement for it, and this is the Red Rock The Summit backpack, and this big May serve as a replacement for this, which is my Outdoor Products Morph 8.0. The Morph, I've had this for quite a few years now, and it's starting to show some signs of wear and tear. It served me well over the course of its lifetime, and it still has plenty of life left in it, but at this point in time I'm just evaluating bags to replace it. As you can see, this was actually pretty taut once upon a time. I very oftentimes would keep my umbrella in here, and this had some really nice elasticity to it, but that is pretty much gone, and that's just one of the things that's happening to it. Starting to get a little bit of, I'm not sure if this particular side has any wear and tear to show for it, but you know, you're just starting to get things starting to come apart. The bottom is getting a little threadbare. I don't know if I can show you that from this side here. No, well, you can actually see it better from the inside than out. You have a small gash right about there, so it's starting to show some signs of wear, and so I decided to go with this and give it a trial run. As I said, I got this from the Sportsmansguide, pretty much sight unseen, just going by the advertisement. Now, normally I prefer things that are a little more urban, particularly since I'm in an urban environment, and this pretty much, in my opinion, would draw less attention to it than, let's say, something with the more military stylings on it. And in my opinion, one of the things that you want to do when you're carrying bags or trying to be discreet is to be discreet. You know, you don't want something that's going to stand out more so than anybody else is. You don't want to draw attention to yourself, and that's one of the reasons why I've always gone with one of the more urban style packs. With this, I look just like pretty much anybody else walking down the street with a knapsack on. Could be a student, could be just going to and from work. Draws very little attention to it, to itself, and therefore draws very little attention to me. Now, of course, there are a couple things, doodads on here that might actually stand out a little more than someone else, but overall, I think that that is a pretty good low-key style bag. And as I said, this is just a trial basis. I haven't even really put anything into this yet. I've just recently purchased it. I think I've actually opened it only once so far, just to see if it met with the description, and it did. And the one thing I do like about this compared to the Morph is the fact that it has two pouches, one pouch on each side, which can be used to carry water. Now, that's something that the Morph doesn't have. It only has one pouch that is capable of carrying water. The other pouch on the other side is for small items that you might want to store there. And the one thing that I do like in anything is a lot of pockets, a lot of places to put things. You see, you have a pocket here which is relatively deep. I mean, my whole hand can fit down into that. You have the PALS style webbing on the outside here. I'm not sure if that's actually PALS webbing, but it's similar to it, and I would imagine that some of the real PALS things can actually, PALS or Molly can actually clip onto that, and even if you just use a carbine or something like that, you can still clip items onto that. So you have a lot of mounting points that were not available on the Morph 8.0, and that is always the advantage of the military style packs, is that you do have more mounting places, more places to mount different items and such. And once again, you have this is somewhat elastic, not very tightly elastic, but it does have a barrel. clip on there so that you can actually cinch things down there. This would be a nice place to perhaps carry an umbrella or something like that. And on the inside you have a nice deep pouch here. You have a place for writing utensils and other small items. There's another clip in here on a lanyard so you can hang things in there. And the quality of it looks pretty good too. But of course, quality is one of those things that you really never know until you've actually put it through its paces. And on the inside here, you have another pouch, which is very deep. I mean, that goes all the way down to the bottom of the bag, the cul-de-sac. And the main compartment is fairly large too. And once again, you have more places to squirrel things. This is not very deep, but it does have a hook and loop tape on there, so that closes nicely. You have another pouch here, which once again isn't very deep, but this zippered pouch can maintain things, keep things organized. And as I said, this is a hydration capable device as well, I believe. Looks like it has, there's a loop here anyway. I'm not sure. I'll have to look and see if this is hydration compatible. I'm almost certain that it is, but of course I'll double check that before I actually attempt to put a hydration bladder in there. And this looks like the pass-through right here, so yes, it is hydration compatible. And on the shoulder strap side, you have your standard chest strap here with the plastic buckles, or buckle that you can cinch it down with. You have another buckle here, and the padding on there looks adequate. I wouldn't say that that's the strongest point on it, but it does look like it probably wouldn't be overly uncomfortable. Now this is actually a bit smaller than the Morphe. You can see, put that on top of that like that. It actually hides it a little bit, but just sitting them side by side, I think you can see that the Red Rock pack, the Summit, is a little smaller, a little narrower. So I'll just have to see whether or not it's going to fit my bill. As I said, the main point that I did like about it compared to some of the other military style packs, I guess you would say, those the packs with the PALs or MOLLE webbing on there, is the fact that it has the two pouches for containing water. I always like to carry water with me. It keeps me hydrated, and if you go out on a hike or something like that, or you need to, you can have one style of bottle, perhaps an aluminum and a plastic bottle, or two aluminum bottles, or whatever the case might be. But you can fill one with water and one with an electrolyte solution or something like that, like a Gatorade or some other electrolyte mix, and have water and electrolyte. You just certainly don't necessarily just want to drink complete water, just total water. Although water is probably the best thing for you, but under certain circumstances you can get water toxicity. Basically, you just flush out your electrolytes, and that's almost as bad as not having water at all. But in any case, I'll wrap this video up, and I'll get back to you once I actually give this thing a go. I'm not sure exactly when I'll have a chance to do that. As I said, the Morphe is still hanging in there, and I'll consider what I can take out of this and put into here if there's anything that needs to be left behind. I still want to keep it light and manageable. I don't want it to get overly heavy and cumbersome to use. I like mobility. All right, thanks for watching, and give me any impressions that you guys might have on this if you've ever actually used it. I'd appreciate any feedback on it, and any suggestions on how I can improve upon what I carry in the Morphe. I'll put a link to my review of this and my EDC video. EDC to work. That's about the only place I carry this is to work, and when I go on vacation, that always comes with me. But yeah, any improvements that you can see on this that can be transferred to this, and anything that should be left behind from this that shouldn't be put in here, I would definitely like to hear your opinions on that. All right, thanks for watching.